camera up. You need to put your camera down. And hello, it's Wednesday. There we go. Goodness gracious.
And it doesn't show you live on the UEG.
No, it doesn't. It shows us live here, though.
Well, yeah, because we're in preview.
Oh my goodness. There it goes. Okay. Now everybody gets to hear us say that too, by the way. I'm sure there'll be a huge ass leg. Okay. We're here. Now we're just waiting for everybody. I can hear me echoing your thing. There we go. Fixed. Okay. Cheers. And Ryan's here. Good morning, Ryan, or afternoon. What?
I can see the chat.
You can see the chat, yeah, but it'll go away quick. So it's nice to have it on a second thing. Tiger Eyes here. Chubby Hubby's here. Hello, everybody. The best part of waking up is drinking from your Karen cup.
I'm almost out of coffee.
And Joseph says he loves him some song puns, and yes, he does. Yes, he does. So yes, if you didn't catch the pun in the title of this video, you picked the fine time to leave me loose wheel. Hey, moi. Hey, Chubby Hubby. Hey, Andrew. How's everybody doing this Wednesday? Oh, and they're saying hi to you too. You can say hi back.
Well, hi, everybody. Glad to be here for once. Actually here, not just wandering around the background.
Not just lurking in the chat.
Always somewhere.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. What a morning. Okay, so we're here. It's kind of been like that. My week's kind of just been like that a little bit here and there. Obviously. Four hungry saws and a rock in the field. Ryan, what you talking about? Is it a song pun? I missed it. It went over my head if it is.
Same here.
Yeah. It's the TikTok vertical now. It's not. It's just that I don't have a choice when I have a guest. We don't have a choice to go the other way. They don't let us get on top of each other. They make us stay side by side. So Spot's here. Hi, Spot. And Jeff and everyone. And okay, so we had interesting things happen up here on the prairie. The rock mobile, the rock truck, kind of reached its final destination in a very fantastic way. And so we've got Prairie Bro on today because, and I want to hear you say this after I say this in your customer service voice, but he sells car parts and car part accessories for a living.
Oh, I have to do that? I have to say that phrase in my customer service voice?
Answer your phone first and then say that that's what you do for a living.
Thank you for calling CarQuest. This is Tyler. How can I help you? Here we have all your car parts and car parts accessories on sale today.
Yes.
And yes, I do answer the phone that way at work.
Yes, I know you do. Now they do too. These jokes are going over my head, says moi. Oh, so yeah, I mean, whenever I have some mechanical issues, you and my kids are my first go-to for help and advice. And so everybody's asked me when I try to explain to them that the tire's locked up on my truck. They're like, why and how and how and why? So we're going to get into that a little bit. And I brought you here to kind of explain. And then since I didn't take a picture of the part, now that we've took it apart, I drew you guys a picture of the part now that we took it apart. So we have fine handmade art. Would you say that that's a good representation, brother, of what's happening inside of there?
That'll work perfect. That's perfect.
Okay, good. So when we get to talking about that part, I'll be able to help with that illustration.
It's double that, but yeah.
Right, but we can get the gist of how those gears are turning with that illustration. I hope.
Yes, moi, visual aids.
Visual aids. I love visual aids. Yes, yes. So, okay. Speaking of visual aids, this is what happened to my truck.
Well, that's
So,
half of what happened to your truck.
that is half of what happened to my truck. The shaft fell out. In case you're wondering, that is the drive shaft laying on the ground. And when this happened, there's
Everything
a
else bad happened.
there's a little housing up in here that's got some stuff inside of it. And what's inside of that little housing up there are some gears, and that's one of these pictures that I've drawn. And so there's one big gear, and I know it kind of looks like an eyeball, and forgive me, it I don't mean for it to look like an eyeball, but there's a housing that goes right in the middle of this, so you can imagine there's a piece still sticking out of this. But these are the important parts that we're going to talk about today, are these two gears. So there's one bigger gear and then a smaller gear that lays on top of this, and as they turn, the shapes of these little grooves and rivets in these lock with each other, and then they slide and turn. And so that creates a turning motion in the tires. Correct, brother?
Yeah, so one's facing like this and one's going like this, just like a gear would go sideways. And
Yep.
when one turns, it's changing the direction of the motion.
Right.
So one's coming off your engine, which is going this way, then it hits your transmission, goes this way, goes all the way back till it hits your tire, spinning in a circle, hits that gear, and then it goes sideways out both sides.
All right. Good explanation. So when that drive shaft fell off, we had the second problem, as you had mentioned. That was one problem, and then there's two problems. And
That's the second problem.
the second problem looks like this.
Yeah, that's your second problem. You made confetti.
Allow me to turn it full screen since we're sideways today. The second problem is that it looks like this inside, and so when these two gears now tried to turn with each other, it's literally like throwing a rock in there. There were chunks of metal, and all of these gears. I mean, they were more ground on one side. They were more foobarred on this side than they were on this side, and there were actual like chunks of metal in this side. But as soon as these two things wanted to roll together, they literally just lock up with all those chunks and shit inside. And I think that you had speculated that you bet that I came to a rather quick stop.
It's an abrupt stop, a minor slowing motion, whether you wanted it or not.
Yeah, it's a very abrupt stop. I can say without hesitation that I reached my final destination in a rather grand fashion. So, let me get caught up on the chat here really quick.
Oh yeah, we forgot to hit the like, share, subscribe.
Oh, did you forget to do that? I did because I didn't
Everybody,
actually. I did the button thing.
there's only 2 likes. This is terrible, folks. Come on now, hit the like, share, and subscribe.
Hey, Rufo's here. Welcome, Rufo. You can sing on Discord. Really? I wonder
You
though,
can
can you play music? Karen had mentioned that there's a kind of audio blocker thing for background noise, so I wonder if you can do spider gears. Yes, Jeff. Yes, that is the term.
Yep.
Let's see. We keep finding new ways on Discord of discording. There are voice chats on Discord, and we've been hanging out. And yep, I've heard about that. Yep, I like to use the voice thing on my Facebook Messenger too, because sometimes typing just doesn't get the point across. If you can't like your own content, don't expect others to do so. So that might have been the first problem, and then the drive shaft became the second problem, question mark, says Lava Bison. Yeah, I kind of think maybe that's how that turned out, yes.
It's only held in by a bolt.
Yeah, and that bolt fell off, and then some,
You
bushing rings and
lost
things that I collected up off of the gravel
It was your
road.
seal, it was your input shaft seal.
Thank you, Chubby Hubby. Spider gears bitten by radioactive drive shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
So getting it home was an adventure because the the tires are locked up. You can't just tow it home because I put new tires on it. You guys see them nice tires in that profile pic that I put up for you there. I mean, those new tires are darn nice. They're beefy. And that in itself caused a problem because we can't tow it home. So a friend of mine we actually called AAA and waited until like 1:30 in the morning for them to show up. That's why it's such a beautiful, lovely sunset evening. We'd even sat there long enough waiting for AAA and watched the sunset that we even saw some wildlife. If you guys can see in this picture, there's a deer walking near us. And at about 1:30 in the morning, they finally got the message across that they weren't coming. They had said for 4 hours that they had dispatched a tow truck driver, and then 4 hours later at like 1:30 in the morning, they were like, "Nah, just kidding, no one's coming." So a friend of mine the next day tried to go up and winch it onto a trailer, and you know the panels that lead up onto a trailer oftentimes will have a little bit of grip to them, a little, they're expanded metal or whatever. And that's good when you're trying to drive up, but when you're trying to drag something up, those brand new knobby tires up onto that trailer, it just wasn't going to work. And he was like, "I'm going to break something if I try." And I'm sure he gave it a solid Boy Scout effort before he gave up. So the deer did not offer me a ride home. I tried to whisper to its spot, and it said, "Nah, that's too far." So anyway, the next plan of action was slightly more redneck and kind of terrifying. So allow me to share that experience with you now. Do you have any idea what year that Ford truck that we stole from Grandpa is?
You stole a Ford truck from Grandpa?
Yeah, the orange welding truck that sits out front.
Oh, that thing?
Yeah.
50s, 60s?
Yeah. Here, I got a kind of
that's the big winch truck. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's kind of a better view of it. I'm trying to get the ring light out of the way. There we go. So it's got all the welding and wenching equipment on it. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which one that is.
It's
And
old and it's scary. Like it's
I
been
bet you
parked.
that's one of the Diamond T's, and I bet you it's from the 50s.
I bet it is too, at least.
It,
So
I'm pretty sure it is. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick.
So the whole plan here is we'll just steal this truck because we don't have permission. It's not licensed, registered, insured, any of that. It's not roadworthy, barely. It's not. It's not. Let's be honest. It's not roadworthy. So let's just hold our breath the whole. It's only 7 miles up there, about 8 miles maybe up there. And we put what tires would hold air. We put air in them, and we put some fuel in it. And we got ready to go. If this is, I'm sorry, you guys, not really rocket related. It's a what? 40. It's 40s. Yeah, it was terrifying. And yeah. So
Brakes are questionable.
We get this thing onto the interstate, and it's like top speed, maybe 45 miles an hour. So that's kind of interesting on a top speed 80-mile-an-hour highway. People are blasting past it. Oh, and the mouse crap blowing up in there, guys. Oh my god, because the AC is windows down only, and it was like in your eyes, in your teeth. It would probably get the hantavirus just from riding in that thing. So we get it up there though, and then the plan is, and you guys, my ex tells me you might not want to come along and see what we. Hi, Cynthia. Says you might not want, and Opal guy. I haven't said hi to Opal guy either. He says you might not want to see what I'm gonna do to your truck. You might not like this at all. And I'm like, sounds like I better come along. And he says on the way up there through all the mouse crap and stuff blowing through, he says, "I saw this on YouTube once, so it should work." And I'm a firm believer in the Academy of YouTube, so I'm like, okay, here we go. Okay, the plan is, oh, now it's gonna die. Okay, we're gonna weld the hitches of these two trucks together so that when we go down the big hill, they don't crash into each other. Okay. And as he's explaining this to me and as we're on the way up there, I'm asking, I'm like, how is that supposed to turn or pivot or and he says, well, I fabricated some hooks before I left. Let's see if we can get it. Ah, that's fine. So he made these little homemade rebar hooks to weld to this pipe so that there was a little bit of play, a little bit of action. Yeah, that should end well, right, Opal guy. And
It
once we had
did.
it, once it did, I'm amazed that it did. Once we had the two trucks welded together, then it was just a matter of hoisting her arse end up and bringing her on home. You can see, there she is. So I want to share these words of wisdom with you guys. I want to share this life hack, if you will, just in case you are ever in this same position I am. Halfway, more than halfway to your rock hounding spot, and no AAA coming to your rescue, and you have to just redneckify something. That actually works. I
I
held my
love an
breath
ozone.
the entire like hour drive. I mean, it's only 8 miles, but I bet it took us an hour to get here. It felt like it took 8 hours because I held my breath the whole way, praying that those welds would hold, praying that 1950s hoist would hold. But we did make it. It's in the shop, and when we pulled it apart, we discovered it looks like this inside. So, yeah, yeah, what an adventure. And like you said, brother, I bet that was a quick stop. Yeah. And that's not my first rodeo. I've seen or been in some other drive shaft incidences. And so
She
as
got picked
soon
up.
as the truck came skidding to a stop in this cloud of dust, I was like, I bet I know exactly what happened. And I stuck my head out the door and I looked underneath and I said, Yep. Oh, the episode of Two Trucks of One Host. How about two hosts, one truck? Opal guy.
Actually, I do have a
No,
rear
we
end for a
all were
truck. It's in
waiting.
mine.
My kid came to come get me. Spot. My kid and my ex came to come get me, and we were all waiting there. In fact, it kind of became a roadside tailgate party for a minute, as a friend of mine is the only person who lives down that road, and they came home and stopped for a second, and then offered us cold refreshments and all of that stuff. And then they had company coming shortly behind them, and they stopped and hung out for a little while as well. And we all enjoyed the beautiful sunset. And I left it unlocked. I left the keys in it. It's not like anyone was going to take it.
It wasn't
And
going anywhere.
when they finally let us know at like 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning that we could go ahead and just leave it there, we did. So, but yeah, for a little while, like four locals drove by, and we all kind of had a moment where we were just like, well, at least it's a nice night, leaning up against the tailgate. So I was in a good spot, thank God. I mean, I don't know if that happened on highway speeds if I'd have been able to keep her under control, because it was literally like it stopped now, like now. So I actually did just kind of say yup, and then I grabbed my phone and was like, please let me have service here. And I did. And so I messaged my kid. I'd actually talked to my kid before I left. I was like, my truck's making a funny noise. And he's like, it's probably just because of the new tires. And we, how much, what we ordered, $250 worth of parts for the front end.
Right, right. Well, that was all suspension and turning components. That was tie
Sure.
rods,
Which
ball
could be
joints.
making some noise, right? Some new noise.
I would
So,
think U joint would make noise more than that, but yeah.
but Trev had reassured me that sure, it could be making some new noise. We've got some parts
Eh,
on the way. He said, just drive slow, Mom. So thank God I did exactly what he said. I drove slow. And
Say,
as soon as it broke, I was like, come get me, son. Come get
good,
me.
good
I
thing
took a
somebody's
picture of it.
paying your cell phone bill.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, brother, for
You're
hooking me
welcome.
up with modern amenities.
You're welcome.
Otherwise, I'd be living 100 years in the past still.
I'd tell you what it cost, but you'd be mad at me.
Yeah. Well, I gave you some Dino Bone jewelry.
That almost pays for a month.
Yeah, well, I gave you some, like, a handful of jewelry and some rocks.
It's all right.
uh,
I'm not worried about it. It was either going to sit there and not get used, or you were going to use it. It's like,
I'm
she needs
using
you
it.
more than me.
I'm using the hell out of it. All right. So, but yeah, my good old truck. So now we just did what, $275 in front end parts, and now we just did like another 500 in rear end parts. But I would rather put the money into my steady old Chevy once every few years than to be making a regular vehicle payment. So, if I was making a vehicle payment, I wouldn't have had money like that sitting around. So,
No, no,
thank God.
I
But
agree.
in all fairness, I've been kind of hounding my boys up here, saying, "Hey, I got my tax return money, and my truck needs a little love." And they put it off and put it off and put it off and put it off until it was like, well, obviously we have to do something about it now.
And you get a better rear end out of the deal.
I do, because I'm gonna get the posi track,
Yeah,
so
instead
I
of the
can get
one
out of my
tire fryer, she
driveway.
gets a 2 tire fryer.
I get a 2 tire fryer. Oh my gosh! Thank you for that. So, those of you who are not mechanically, motivated in any way, I'm sorry if this episode bored the hell out of you. Hopefully, it was slightly entertaining in a prairie girl kind of way. Oh, I wish I could get a better rear end. See, I said that too, Opal guy. I said seriously, I just had 6, what, 7, 8, 9 guys looking at my front end, and they all were so enamored with my front end that they completely ignored my rear end. So what do you do? What do you do? Yeah, I don't think so, Spot. I think I'm gonna keep that old Chevy. I love that truck. It loves me too. Um,
I
so
gotta get tires on mine.
yeah, well, don't do that, because once you put tires on it, it all goes to hell from there. It's
That's
like
okay.
putting a
It already
permanent
needs a new
plate on your
transmission
vehicle.
too. I
As
need a
soon as you,
transmission and tires.
soon as you
It's
get a
fine.
permanent plate, everything breaks.
It
You have to
started with
redo
a permanent
everything.
plate.
I know, me too. And so then my next default was put tires on it, and look what happened to me.
Oh, that
So
reminds me. I got a sticker in my car.
yeah, well, I
I,
gotta fill
I
my
got the
cup up.
sticker. I got the sticker for the car. I just haven't put it on yet.
I gotta fill my cup up, and then we gotta talk about the conversation I had with Cleve about the flowers.
Oh, that's a fun one. TMI. Oh.
Okay. So dreams really do come true, you guys. It's like, so we've had like maybe our not so feel good story. Now we're gonna have our feel good. She's not checking out the rear end. Now we're gonna have our feel good story. Dreams really do come true, you guys. There's a backhoe in my backyard.
So do nightmares.
So do nightmares. Yeah, true story, Bear. But for today, let's just let our dreams come true, because I've had enough. I've had enough of getting the shaft. All right, so all pun intended. I think my plates are due too. Excuse me just a second. All right, so I get a knock at the back door today, which I kind of suspected I knew who it was, because there's been some of our telephone cooperative guys out here getting ready to lay the fiber
That you don't
optics.
get, but they're laying it.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, right? They've only been talking about doing it for 4 years. Okay. Well, I'm trying to be nice. Okay. A backhoe. What you gonna do with the backhoe? So I get a
Go
knock on
find
my
some
door.
rocks.
Like I say, they're gonna lay some fiber, and they've had the little flags out in my yard for a minute now, so I know they're coming. In fact, I went out to the dumpster last night, and there was a hole, and I'm talking a hole. It was skinny. It was only like maybe a foot by 3 foot, and I couldn't see the bottom of it in the dark. And I thought, holy shite, I hope my dog doesn't fall in there.
Right?
Can they legally leave an open hole like that? Holy scary. Holy scary. I'm glad I didn't fall in. Glad my dog didn't fall in. Anyway, so I see the hole last night. I know they're getting ready to start doing some work here. They're closing in on my place, but I get a knock on the door this afternoon and I answer it. And Cleve's quite a character. In fact, we're gonna go look out in the yard and see if there's anything worth looking at for rocks. And if Cleve's out there, we'll give him a hard time. He says, we need to dig up some of your flowers to get the fiber ran into your house. And I was like, you want to kill my flowers? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh no. I honestly kind of don't really care, right? But I'm gonna give him a hard time about it. And I'm like, I said, let me see where you're going, what you're doing. And where he points, he says, right where I got the shovel, and he's already got a shovel stuck right in my flowers. And I'm like, oh, actually, I kind of like that one. That one flower. Oh no. And I'm like, for real? And so we have a little conversation about it. And I'm like, actually, I think you should just move over just a little bit. You can kill all the irises and daylilies you want, but not my purple flower and my orange flower. And so he comes in and we go into the basement and he comes back out and he says, actually, I think you're right. I think we should move over just a little farther. And he tells the kid he's working with, if you step on that flower, I'm going to kick your butt today. Anyway, so it was a little more vulgar than that. And so by the time we get done having our conversation, I'm like, have fun killing my effing flowers. And he's like, you're welcome. You're effing welcome. So I thought that they were going to dig, like hand dig, but no, he had a little tiny backhoe out there. And there's already a hole out in the alley. So the rock hound in me says, we got to go check this stuff out. We got to go check this hole out.
All
What
right,
if there's
sister.
good rocks?
You look at the hole. I'm going to run away.
Thanks for joining us, brother, and helping to describe what happened mechanically to the Rockmobile.
It went clunk, kerbloom.
And it said, thank you. You have reached your final destination. All right, brother. Thank you.
See you guys. Have fun, everybody. I'll be in the chat still. I'm just hopping off live.
Yeah. All right. And we are stuck in widescreen, TikTok mode now because we started that way. We have to finish that way. But like I say, it's kind of, I didn't get to go get new footage and new rocks and all this. I was on my way to go make an epic video when instead I had to just go do shop stuff instead. Hey, big pile of dirt over there. It is a pretty bad leg, I know, brother. Oh, look. And they wanted to put it right below that black cable in my purple flower. And that's the one I was like, no, actually, I like that flower. And then I like this one too. Yeah, they can kill all the irises and daylilies they want. Look, there isn't a rock to be seen in that. Not one rock. In fact, that is gumbo. Let me tell you guys about gumbo. Look, do you see that icky little streak and how like nasty, chunky? Look at that, how compact and gross our dirt is. Look, it's even got a shine. It's from scraping up against the bucket or the tractor. It's so nasty, gumbo-y, compact, gross crap. Oh, I hate our dirt here. It's so not good. Not good. That's terrible. Listen to it. That's terrible shit. Sorry about the language. Watch my mouth. Look, there's a rock. Nothing. Yeah, I'm guessing these guys are probably on their lunch break. Look, there's a piece of a foundation of the house or a piece of the sidewalk or something down in there. But yeah, not really a rock to be seen. Not really one at all. So let's go check out the other pile. Look for rocks while Prairie Bro taps it. Ooh, I got dizzy. I got a freebie. Look, they tried to save some of my irises. Thanks, guys. It might get a little glitchy once we get out here, but hopefully as soon as I stand still again, it'll catch up. Hopefully it doesn't just drop off the face of the earth. What is I should bring the metal detector out here. There's a couple more rocks in some of this though, but yeah, they're not really anything worth, quartz, 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 dirt, lots of dirt, and a beer bottle. That's so funny. Oh, gross. Look, there's some kind of plasticky shit hanging out of. Oh, again, my language. Why the S word today? I'm sorry, you guys. Nah. Nah. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna dig up my yard, I gotta have a look. Gotta look at the rocks. For sure. Hey, that's got some sparkle to it. But it's just not, no, not one piece of pet wood or anything even kind of remotely exciting. No, just like, what is that? Ew. It's so trashy. I can't see the comments. I'm gonna have to rewatch this one later to. Oh, I tripped on a gumbo wad. Again, gumbo, guys. That's not quite as gumbo-y as the more garbage as the last chunk was, but yeah, our dirt's not real nice. What's that? It's a rock. It's hot from sitting in the sun. It's nothing. I had high hopes. I was like, maybe a couple little fossils or a pet wood or something. But nah, I'm just seeing a big bunch of nothing. Did we look at that one? Yeah, we did. Is that a rock or nope? That's dirt. All right, let's look in the hole really quick. Yeah. Boo! Boo! That's a bone. See how trashy it is out here? What the hell? Oh God, I hope there's not a body. Um, ew. That's gross. What else is in this hole? Like, oh, the gumbo, and that's fresh gumbo. Look, I'm touching it. It's gross. This stuff, it gets so stuck on your vehicle. Do you see that? It sticks to everything, and it's heavy and yucky gumbo. So if nothing else, you guys, we got a lesson in gumbo today. Look, I should start a Dordonga with that. Ding 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 ding. Dordonga balls from the yucky mud hole in the backyard. Right? Just get the polish in that bad boy. Look, it's already ready to go. That's a nice little Dordonga texture. Gumbo Dordonga. I like the idea. But yeah, as far as rocks go out here, super minimal and less than delightful. Like I say, if anything, we got a lesson in gumbo. Huh. Excuse my sniffle. Oh, my dog is so upset. I left her inside. I can hear her. She wants out. Here they come. Here they come back from their thing, from their lunch break. I'm going to give Cleve crap. Look, there's gumbo down in the hole. There's a rock, but it's probably no good. There's a rock. It probably sucks, too. We better have a look. Oh, my God. And look what else. Oh, they dug up my electric perimeter fence for my dog. I should tell him that's what that is. He probably wonders what the hell that is. Nah. Nah. Nope. I don't like that rock either. Excuse the sniffle again. Freaking beer bottle, you guys. And I got a freebie again standing up. Oh. Excuse me. I bent down like that and it all just ran right up to my head. Oh goodness. Yeah. Come on, Cleve. Dig me up some good rocks, would ya? Gonna dig a hole in my crud. Just. Oops, that was my finger. I'm looking for there it is. I'm gonna give him crap. Freaking beer bottle. You can't do me better than that. Oh. Yeah, not one decent rock in that whole thing. Oh, look, I didn't even see that pile. Oh my God, we gotta go look before they get back to work. Sorry, I'll try not to move too fast so it doesn't get too glitchy for you guys. How's that one's rockier? Anything worth a damn? Just a bunch of gumbo. Ew, I bet that was so much fun to dig. Where the hell did all this dirt come from? Oh, that hole over there. How is there like a complete absence of, what's with the wood? Just how though? Like how so much gumbo and no rocks? That amazes me a lot. A lot. There's a rock. Huh. Yeah, I kind of am curious if you would have maybe any luck metal detecting that instead of rock count. A word with these guys. That tree attacked me. Hazards of having long hair. Hmm. Hmm. Uh-oh. It says Spot's comment is loading, or is she telling me I'm loading? Still counting. They're probably wondering what the hell I'm doing in their hole with a camera. Probably like, why is she even interested? Oh. Turn off your Wi-Fi. Sorry. I'm back. Does that help? Oh, yeah, that was less than impressive. Excuse me for just a minute. If you have an issue with this, please mute me for a moment. I apologize. Woo! It got wild out there, made my hair crazy and everything. Yeah, I think it was probably my fault. We need our fiber optic, obviously. My brother's right. If I'd just let my phone do the work, I might have had better luck with that. But that was less than impressive. I gotta go tell those guys they gotta do better for me. Come on, dig me up something good, would you? Got stuck in the gumbo. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a real thing out here, and it's not good. So yeah, one of the first things that I said when I came to a screeching halt in the middle of the gravel road on my way out to go rock hounding was, well, at least it's obvious what the issue is. Yay, Steinkerms, we're back. And yes, we're enjoying the air conditioning and the coffee because it's kind of gross outside. Kind of like, melt your brain right inside your skull, kind of hot. So yeah, that kind of sucked. But I found one rock. I don't know even if you guys saw me find it because I might have been freezing. Did you guys see me find it? We might have to cut it and see if there's anything going on the inside. That was the only even remotely looking kind of okay. Like, and I don't even know if I'm going to cut it. I might just whack it with a hammer. See if there's anything in there. I doubt it. So, yeah, in your air conditioning, Prairie Bro. Although, like I say, I do kind of wonder about hitting that with the metal detector. We've done some metal detecting out in the yard, and we've found really old Matchbox cars and change and old. The sheriff used to live here, and we found a handcuff key. Like, no kidding. So, sometimes, uh, metal detecting is kind of a great way to pick up on some of your history of what happened even in just your yard. Yes, there is, as a matter of fact. Why? What are we firing in the kiln? You're fired. Yes, Chubby Hubby says his pry bar is his best friend when he's hunting on some of those gravel roads that are like concrete sometimes. Yeah, my magnet stick that I take out with me is a ski pole, and I just attached the magnet on there and left a little ski pole pronger guy, and that little prong makes a great little pry bar. Actually, kind of might think about maybe trying a Duradonga ball that kind of starts there with a gumbo wad and then goes into a polished dirt outside. Why not? I need to go get some dirt out of that hole at least because then I cuz cuz Yay, John. Welcome. Welcome. There's a backhoe in my backyard, which I thought was a blessing in disguise, and it wasn't really not. They dug up a beer bottle and some other garbage, which is not a big surprise. But no good rocks, really. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, the Laffa Bison, he needs some of that uh, fiber his way, too. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, I mean, truck broke down, didn't get to go on my rock adventure. Now they're digging holes in my yard, killing all my effing flowers. Ah, I find the whole thing to be just comical the whole way. Comedy the whole way. The whole way. My life is a comedy. All over town, Spot. I just want to follow them around all day and check their holes, right? Excuse me. Just want to check them all. Make sure they're not digging up anything good. I mean, there was a bone out there. Should we call the authorities? No, I know why there's bones in my yard. The people who lived here before me thought it'd be a real cool thing to have pet pig. And they just, fed some of their table scraps to the pet pig right out there where I decided later to make my garden. Which my garden, if you guys saw it at all in the video, is nothing but a weed patch this year. I've severely neglected I just didn't even garden this year. My strawberries came in and they were delicious. And there's some hula berries coming in that I'm sure are also delicious. But yeah, I didn't grow anything this year like I usually do. Too stinking busy. Maybe again in next year. But yeah, there's gotta be some, and yeah, like I say, metal detecting too. Like I found some kind of cool stuff just even in my yard with my metal detector. So following them down like to the swimming pool or you know anything like that might be kind of a win on the metal detector. So anywhere where little kids might have dropped money or they've had any kind of community gatherings, that'd be the kind of place to go through with your metal detector. Yeah, the hula berries, the cotton candy cotton candy strawberries. Yeah, they're good. There's just a few of them though, like, and they're almost already done. You should have come up today and had a couple, brother, because that's probably about the end of it. Mm. No, graduation was a minute ago, but now we're getting ready. The band's getting ready to go to Bozeman this weekend, and I got to pack up. And we've been kind of back and forthing with some of the with some of the arrangements with the conversation between the guys the other night. And it was Monday, so I was having date night in with Joseph. So I was just kind of letting them chat, and I'd check it like every few messages and kind of see where they were at. But I wasn't on my phone the whole time, right? And they're discussing, should we the first night get a hotel room and should we get it close to where we're playing so that when we're done playing we can just like walk over to our hotel. And well, we've waited so long to do that now the hotel rooms are costing like $200 a night. And so, should we get one? Should we get two? We can't even really even get one with two beds. We can really kind of just get one with one bed. And so, what do we do? And so our drummer's like, I'll get another hotel room, and I don't want anybody to have to sleep on the floor. And finally, I interrupted. I was like, aren't we camping the second night? Like, aren't we bringing our tents and our sleeping bags and our coolers and all of that stuff? Like, aren't we camping the second night anyway? So why can't we just roll out a sleeping bag on the hotel floor? Like, what's the difference in that and camping? I mean, at least there you've got air conditioning and a shower and some other things. When you're camping, you don't like. And he was like, "You make a good point, Allison." Hey there, good golly, Miss Molly. It says Kelsey, but I bet you that's our little Miss Molly watching us today. Welcome, Molly. Oh yeah, for sure, Spot. Yeah, it's just been a crazy thing. And like I say, the band's doing stuff too. Really busy right now with us putting out an album and make it. Oh man, like I say, we would go probably straight through the summer where we had a gig almost every weekend, except that Cole was like, "We're taking August off so I can go farming." So this is kind of our. We got a couple more shows after this, but then it kind of mellows out for a little while, and then we're right back at it. You're camping at the lake, Molly? You better be looking at the rocks, my girl. Oh, better be looking at the rocks. Jump in for me once while you're there. So yeah, I mean, like I say, some people might be, you know, deeply disturbed that their vehicle just kaput on the side of the road. Deeply disturbed that the guys want to come kill all their irises and daylilies so that you can get fiber around to your house and dig a hole in your. I'm like I say, I'm so incredibly amused by the. Seriously, I think it's funny. I think the whole thing is mildly entertaining and slightly funny. Amusing, amusing. So welcome to the kind of the backstage scenes in my world and why and how this comedy of errors is so amusing. Oh, like I say, I gotta like just smile and sing and joke about it. You picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel. Yes, it wasn't a wheel, but drive shaft doesn't fit in the song quite as nice as it doesn't sound like Lucille. Loose wheel does. Hmm. So I might try again here before I get out. Hi, Diane. I might try again to get out a little bit before and during. If I get some good rock hounding while I'm down in Bozeman, you bet you guys I'll be filming it and making a video and stuff. But until then, sorry, there's no video from me this week. I was going to make an epic video and reached my final destination involuntarily just before I got there. So, uh, like I say, I might try to get out. I'm using my kid's truck in the meantime, which again is a comedy. Oh my gosh. Seriously. I need the old yellow pages. Remember when you used to have to sit on the yellow pages in the old trucks to get to I need one of those because I can't reach the pedals and start and push and then shifting too. I can't get all the way down to the floor with the shifter to get it. Oh man, it's something else. Oh, because would you really go out right now, brother? Like I say, it's enough to make your brain boil inside your skull out there right now. I don't think so. I told you I got the AC running. I tried to lure you up with my air conditioning and you declined. Cheers, everybody. Don't let your brain boil inside your skull. Stay cool. It is a hot transportation mess right now. It's doable, but do you remember sitting on it Spot so that you could reach the pedals in some old Ford truck? Mm, the old yellow pages. Yeah, it's like I say, I'm fine. It's we're doing fine. It's just I had plans and that's not how life went. So I had planned to go up and get some neat footage for you guys, and that's not how that went. Oh well, we'll try it again soon. Like I say, I've been kind of tempting Prairie Kid to come out with me lately, kind of in the evenings, and so we might head out for a little evening trip. Your cousin's gonna join. Right on, Molly. Very good. Oh, but we should talk too about that last video before we go. You guys always, all I know, a lot of you guys were there for the premiere on that last one. What are these mystery holes and a trip to the cave with Prairie Kid? that was a neat video, if I do say so myself, you guys. Sorry, I keep kicking. I'm getting comfy in my chair and I keep kicking the tripod down underneath the table. That's what all the wiggling is, and I apologize. That was a neat video. That was a fun one to make. The One of these days, I don't know what that message was. One of these days, those kids are going to go out and find something that I don't have an explanation for. And I look forward to that. That's going to be cool. Um, in the meantime, though, digging into some of the history of what's going on up here and explaining some of the things that we are seeing, and just knowing some of the past up here is, it's stuff that you know, but until you're actually watching your kid's video and he's going, what is this? And when I pulled the picture up in the book, they both just came unglued, my youngest and my oldest, and they were like, that's exactly where we were. What does the book say, mom? What does the book say, mom? And it's neat to be able for them to get excited about it too. And when you have that like real connection to it, it's not just reading about it in a book. When you have that real connection to it as you're learning about it in the book, it makes it a little more sticky. It's going to stick in your mind just a little bit better than it does if you're just, trying to file away facts that you just read out of a book. And so, that's stuff that I've read that book before, and it just, really didn't dawn on me. You can't even imagine that in your mind as you're reading the book, even when they show you the picture. And it's unfortunate because in the book, the picture is like 4 pages later with other pictures. And so you don't really make the connection when you're coming through things that, if they put the picture right there as they're talking about it, you might have made that connection in your mind as you were reading about it. But I just never did as I was reading. Hey, Sharon. And to see the actual footage of that and for everybody to be kind of, in shock, like, what is this? You can hear everybody, what is this? What did this? And to be able to go on that journey, all of us together. They were there wondering what it was. We were watching, wondering what it was. And then to be able to answer that question, it still is a speculative answer, but you know what? It makes a lot of sense. So, hey, Josh, how are you? Um, it was neat. It was a really neat one to make. I liked it right up there, like, with that other one that I did about the marble up in the hills. I think that the one that I did with the marble could have been a little nicer edited, but you can only edit a video so much before you're like, you know what, just stop, put it out. Um, but it was a fun one. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of cool history. I really, 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 really liked that one. I hope you guys did too. Exactly. Exactly. I agree, Spot. She said, she says, that's what gives kids roots. Pardon the pun. But things like that will help keep them grounded in life. I agree. I agree. Totally agree. And it even just going out into those places, whether you get a good history lesson out of today or not, or even if you just go out and find gumbo, going out into those places for me is like my going to church. I mean, it's it's where I feel like most at peace, most at rest, most connected, most grounded, is when I'm out, out in the nature, and completely, my mind is focused on the task at hand, which is rock counting. I'm not thinking about a lot of other things, just sometimes, but um, that's where I find my renewal. That's where I feel like things are most right. So I like taking you guys with me when I do that because it's not always a possibility. Sometimes, you know, that loose wheel picks a fine time to leave you and you're stuck at home. So, yeah, Sharon, isn't that terrible? And thank you, John. John just gifted everyone some memberships there. Or not everyone, but Chubby Hubby for one. So welcome, Chubby Hubby. So you can go watch some of my members only videos. They're, obviously not up to par with some of the rest of the stuff, but a little bit of the behind the scenes, some of the catastrophes and trials and tribulations that we have out here on the prairie. Yeah. Karen joined the Pebbles today too. She said she didn't know that she hadn't pebbled up. I love that. Excuse me. I've been trying to kick this cold for a little over 2 weeks now. Ugh. I am feeling better though, but oh my gosh, I'm out of coffee. Oh, so one of those guys that got back out to work there yet. I should probably go swing that metal detector around and see if there's anything other than a beer bottle out in that pile. God. A beer bottle and a bone. That's what we found it. Some days you win, you guys, and some days you lose. Some days you find yourself a heart-shaped fossil. Some days you find a piece of common opal, a blue piece of common opal. I'm just reaching up here and grabbing some of my favorites, and then sometimes, you find, what else? Oh, agates. Sometimes you find agates. And sometimes you go out and you find a bone in a beer bottle. Oh, you guys. Mama always said you never know what you're gonna get. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy. Oh. And Bear can relate. He's got some hair on his head, but you really can't control anything in this life. And your hair was put on your head just to remind you that, God, for real, like for real, too. Mine is so screwed up today. Yeah. Some things in this life you can control, some things you cannot. Yeah, John, I like my metal detector. It's, not completely underwater, but all the way up to the connection and up to the screen is waterproof. I've got the Garrett Gold Bug. It's a very nice metal detector, and I love it. I don't use it often, but when I do, I love it. Oh, good for you, Sharon. hmm I hope it rains up here sometime soon. I figured if I went and put my base in the back of my truck and hauled it halfway across the state, that would be enough to entice the rain gods to do something. Um, I was joking when I was at work the other day. I was like, "Yeah, should I just go put it in my truck like today and leave it there for the next few days and see if we can't get some rain?" And they were like, "Would you do that, please?" I'm like, "Yeah." And everybody go wash your windows and uh, really, I've never even heard of that, John. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, I like my Garrett. It's pretty good. Is it still sitting? No, it's in the back closet. It's fun. It's fun. It finds hot rocks. It finds treasure, and there's ways to discriminate between the two. I love it. Not that there's a lot of water up here, so I, haven't even used the waterproof part of it. I don't think, but yeah, I've had that thing for a few years now. It can be fun. It can be just like not fun too. You can take it out to a place where you think, oh, there used to be like a little homestead here or something, and all you find are pull tabs, nails, and barbed wire, bullet shell. It's like, oh, enjoy your vacation, Andrew. Good for you. What the hell, for reals? uh, I'm surprised there weren't more shaft jokes in today's live. Chubby Hubby and I were off to a pretty good start. Chubby Hubby was talking about when his shaft fell out and then slapped the crap out of the underside of his vehicle. And I was like, that's rude. The shaft and then slapped around. Like, you should be treated better than that, Chubby Hubby. You should demand to be treated better than that. Hot rocks, bottle caps, bullets. What you find 90% of the time. Exactly. 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 And then it passed him, he said, too, by the way. He said it was one hell of a sight to see his own drive shaft pass him. Oh, yes. Yes. One heck of a sight. Totally rude. Totally rude. Can you believe that? Sorry, guys. This dang cold. I'm over it. But I refuse to take meds. I just want to, like, I want to suffer on through it. I want to naturally sweat it out. So I apologize. Thank you for hanging in there with me, even though I sound a little disgusting from time to time. I'm sure you guys don't mind. Like I say, try not to put it right in your ear. But yeah, the coffee has officially ran dry. It was cowboy style again today. Little grounds in there. So yeah. Now that I've got some you know, good coffee in me, I ought to be able to go out and give those guys a good ration of crap. I go out there and start swinging my metal detector like a nerd. Telling them, you guys are going to turn my yard up. At least you could turn up something good. It was a 71 Impala. It was past. My grandpa had an Impala, Chubby Hubby. I don't know what year. I was, you know, maybe in high school the last time I saw my grandpa's Impala, and he parked it in the garage every day. Like, seriously, with the tennis ball hanging. Every time he went to and fro town, it went back into the garage, and that thing was mint cherry, and it had the floral upholstery that was like this, 60s color, and and this color, you know, with the flowers, the orange and green flowers and stuff in it. It was, oh man, that thing floated down the road. I love that car. Loved that car. And of course, like, my dad was like, I hate that car. And as soon as grandpa is gone, and that car is the first thing to go, and I was like, no, no. Oh. So, you know what? I know that that's kind of, I feel your sadness, Chubby Hubby. I too have had a deep love for an ugly, but ugly Impala. It's the sweetest car I ever rode in. Oh, until the drive shaft went past Chubby Hubby, and then he said, dang it, that's sad. I'm sure that's exactly what he said. Oh. Andrew, lucky duck. My first car was an '84 Dodge Colt, and after I rolled it going down a gravel road, I turned it into a bomber car, which is a bump to pass 4-cylinder unibody style dirt track racing. Bump to pass. So basically a moving demolition derby. So, I mean, when life hands you lemons, make lemonade. When you wreck your car, turn it into a moving demolition derby car. Speaking of cars, Caden's been fixing up. What have you been working on? What's the Mercury? What year?
76.
A 76 Mercury. Monarch Mercury. And it's, rather similar to this color. That thing is sick.
I got a better color.
Do you? No, I don't think so. I think it's more this color.
In between.
It's in between. It's like baby shit brown. Green brown.
Hey.
Baby shit green brown.
It's like veggie juice.
Veggie juice green.
And it's good looking. I like it.
I like it too. It's I'm slightly jealous. Like, I've never personally driven anything quite so classic as that. I hate to say that's classic now because when I was a kid, I would have just died if I had to drive that. But I would drive the crap out of it now. Mashed peas. That's the color. Exactly, Bear. Mashed peas. Exactly.
Almost like
Yeah. Yeah, mashed peas. They're okay for finding meteorites, Sharon. They're good for finding irons and pallasites. They're just kind of okay for finding stonies. And stonies are more common
where's the brother?
than he's at work than irons and pallasites are. So yeah, they're good, especially if you know you're going to a place where there's iron meteorites or pallasites in a known strewn field. That'd be a great tool to have with you. Yeah, you guys got it. Mashed pea mercury. That sounds like a country song. I totally agree. I love that. Mashed pea mercury. See all the holes that dug in our yard?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Why?
Fiber optics.
Well, for fiber optics. Okay, I was excited because I thought maybe they might dig some cool rocks up in our yard. Yeah, no, that's not the case. So I'm thinking maybe I'll go swing the metal detector. They found a beer bottle and I found a bone. So I think maybe we should go swing the metal detector out over some of that. I see some wire and other junk in there too, but
Who else working out there?
Northern Tell guys. I don't know. Cleve had a couple of younger guys with him that he was
Cleve.
giving a hard time.
Cleavage.
Oh gosh, Cleve was up here. You should have heard the stuff. You should have heard he's out there killing my effing flowers.
Oh,
And when we were finally done looking in the basement and looking at where they're gonna dig right up to the house, I was like, "Have fun killing my effing flowers," and he's like, "You're effing welcome." It was fun. So it rolls well off the tongue. I agree, chubby hubby. Oh goodness. So on that note, one of these days he's gonna be rolling down the road, all rock puns intended, in his mashed pea mercury singing the Prairie Go Rock song. Or, knee driving while he mouth harps it in his pea green mercury, mashed pea mercury. Oh, so speaking of the song, you guys, I think 72, 73 minutes into this, not counting the whole shebang in the front where brother couldn't get on, and I need to blow my nose again, and I need to refill my cup up, and also, like I say, probably, life hands you lemons, make lemonade. Not going rock counting proud. Well, you want to go out tonight? He says.
did more bale work.
Ooh.
We put it in the upper half of the barn.
You loaded the loft today?
And I didn't just load the loft. I unloaded the trailer, handed a bale to Grandma. Peter would take a bale off, put it next to him, to stack them, and then I had to go up there and move them around. It's like, what?
You get to move 'em twice.
Yeah. She had me doing 2 jobs.
I'm sorry, Prairie Kid. What don't kill you'll just make you tougher, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel pretty dead.
I bet you do. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. I've definitely done my fair share. I actually have loaded that exact loft.
No way.
Yahweh, when I was probably about your age.
Loser. Not kidding.
Yeah. Remember, I used to roll with your dad's cousins.
Oh, dad's cousin.
Uh-huh.
You ever get your eyebrows burnt off?
Little Mark was too little then to cause problems like that. All right, so now we're getting into some personal stuff here. But yeah, let's all feel just a little sympathy for Prairie Kid right now as he loaded the upper loft with hay bales today. Ouch. It's a good thing you were done before it got too terribly hot out. But yuck, that's rough.
It was already hot.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, And like I say, maybe I'll just, drift off in our Mash P Mercury as we sing our songs this afternoon. What a colossal catastrophe of a life here. There really were no rocks. I'm sorry. I failed you guys. I've got the tumblers to do today, but there's nothing finished. So that's not even exciting. We could run the saw, but that's kind of tough to do, and it's just one. And so we just went with this freestyle today. Hopefully there was at least one or two jokes or song things that you guys picked up on, and it made you laugh and brought some kind of joy to the middle of your week. Yeah. Everybody stay cool out there if you can. The band plays in Bozeman this weekend. There's like 16 of us here, 18 likes, 60. I'll jump in the river 16 times, once for each of you this weekend, while I'm not at Karen's Live. So I'll be thinking about you guys for sure. And we'll see what next Wednesday brings. Hopefully it's a little more exciting and I've got something rock related. Thank you, Chubby Hubby. Like I say, hopefully we just enjoyed each other's company. A little bit of stories here on the prairie about some of our adventures. I'm sorry about this, not long screen format today, but it was kind of worth it to get Prairie Bro in there and get kind of his explanation of what was going on with the mechanical side of things. So yeah, the parts should all be here actually today, right?
I don't know.
My rear end parts are coming in today.
I don't know.
I think so. And so
No.
again, instead of rock counting, I'll be up there. I can't.
Breaking wrenches.
You got it. Busting knuckles. So it might be just a second until we get back on track, but like I say, it's well worth it. That Chevy doesn't owe me nothing. My steady Chevy doesn't owe me nothing. And I'd rather put a little bit of time and a little bit of work into it than to have a regular vehicle payment. So we'll get her fixed and we'll get back on track. Thank you, John. I hope the gig goes well too. 2 of them this weekend. But yeah, the second night on the river for 2 60th birthday parties. It should be hell of a good gig crowd. That's my kind of folks there. So yeah, we'll have some fun and we'll meet again next Wednesday. Like I say, hopefully we'll have a little more different feel to it, a little more rocky feel, a little less of a gumbo stuck kind of feel. All gumbo pun intended there. And yeah, we'll sing the song real quick, and I hope you guys have a successful and wonderful, free roll and rest of your week. I hope you don't get stuck like me. So yeah, we'll do the song. Hopefully that text didn't mess anything up. Okay, good. And see you guys again soon. Until then, do all the things, go out and hit the like buttons and share and leave somebody a nice comment. Those things really do matter to the algorithm and stuff. And you guys know, you guys are the best rock fam ever, and you've been doing those things and you keep doing those things. So yeah, thank you guys so much for spending your time with me here today in a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind. And here we go. Ready? Pretty rocks out on the prairie. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Pretty rocks for us to look at. Pretty rocks are everywhere. There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one, and they all are very pretty, and they all are everywhere. Thanks, everybody.